These days, it might be easy to predict the next time New Orleans will have a white Christmas, rather than the outcome of a Saints game. But that doesn't mean Larry Holder and Santa's favorite oversized elf can't give it their best go. It's the penultimate sprinkling of pixie dust this season, coming up next on the Black and Gold Today. Welcome to the Black and Gold Today, sponsored by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm your host, who is waiting to open that ugly sweater, Jim Derry. Doing our best to forget about the debacle in the Superdome on Monday night, we're set to move on to the home finale Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And what better way to do that than to offer the weekly session with Larry Holder a day early, and it's Christmas a day early for everyone.
I know. We might not bring, Santa's cheer as far as picking the Saints games, but we at least bring each other cheer.
We do, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
It's just happy, joy on
all
the
the
set.
cheer we can get from this bummer of a Saints season for fans. I think we'll try to do our best.
What do we do it's going to have to be extra special because letting the fans know early there's no show on Christmas Eve or Christmas. So
I think they'll have better things to do.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just going to guess it.
Let's get to it, and we can't just leave the Lions in the dust just yet because got to talk about what was that.
It was a performance that you didn't really expect, to be honest with you. You thought the Saints may have gotten some momentum coming off that nice win against Tampa Bay, and they just didn't show up in the first half, got in too big of a hole. And look, offensively, couldn't get the job done. Drew Brees gets hurt. Yeah. Defensively, they become the Rob Ryan defense of old. Can't get a stop. Matt Stafford throws all over them. And they dig too much of a hole, try to climb back, but of course we've seen it so many times this year. Saints can't afford to get into a hole, lose a shootout, and now they're on the verge of having their worst record in the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era.
Mentioned it yesterday. Stafford 22 of 25, 88% completion rate is the best in the team history of the Detroit Lions. They've only been around since 1930, so I guess,
It's not like Detroit's had a really good history, so the fact that they made history in such a big way, in a meaningless game for them, just goes to show you how poor the Saints are right now.
Abdullah and Bell, second best rushing performance of the season for them. Abdullah scores just his second rushing touchdown of the season. It's just, this team's a disaster.
And both of those players tried to get the Saints back in the game. Abdullah fumbles the football away. Joik Bell fumbles it, and yet it's recovered by the Lions. So everything you could have possibly thought of did not go the Saints' way. And like I said, Drew Brees injured, and so you never know. We might be seeing Garrett Grayson or Matt Flynn coming up these final 2 weeks.
Let's talk about Mr. Brees. And as we tape this show, we have not received the results of his MRI yet. Not that we ever will anyway.
They'll ship it to me, no problem. Sean will get back to me.
Right. Yeah, he's real good about that. What does it? Why would you even play him? Unless he's just like 100%. What is the point of playing Drew Brees at this point? He's got his 4,000 yards.
There's no point. There's 0 point. And he had the walking boot on after the game. Even asked to kind of keep his press conference brief because he's hurt, and admitted he's going to have the MRI. Something's wrong. Why not shelve him for the final 2 games of the season? And you play Garrett Grayson if you got to make your choice. Why not give the rookie
he's not
2 shots?
He'll never do that.
I don't know. Why not?
Because he's Sean Payton.
But Matt Flynn has only been there for a couple weeks. Why not give Garrett Grayson the shot? Why not?
Because he doesn't want to prove what a silly pick that was and put the kid out there and have him just blasted.
Well, if he's his future, you might as well play him at some point.
His future.
You never know. Look, they wanted to take him in the second round. Sean Payton felt that good about his future. So if he felt that good, why not play him?
All right, I'm not going to make you say it. I know you don't want to be too harsh. Let's.
Thank you.
Defensively, we know they've been struggling. They had played better under Dennis Allen since Rob Ryan was let go. They regressed this week. What do they need to do?
Same strategies as always. Get more pressure on the quarterback. Look, they can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They're ranked 30th or worse in every major category there is. So everything's bad. Look, Donnell Ellerbe didn't help this game. And what I'm curious is to see how they try to affect Jacksonville. Look, Blake Bortles can shred them just like
absolutely.
Matt Stafford. Blake Bortles has had a much better season overall than Stafford. And they've got some young weapons. TJ Yeldon might be back at running back. So, look, and they still have a sliver of hope in the AFC South, so they have something to play for. And the one piece I'm really wondering about is Heoli Kikaha. He only saw 10 snaps, and he wasn't hurt in that game. And he was not part of their nickel situation, which means you're not using him as a pass rusher. And Dennis Allen has had a different plan for him than Rob Ryan has. It's very apparent. And so I'm wondering what they even feel like the vision is for him for these final 2 weeks and then going into next season.
In one of the plays, he comes in and makes a great play and ends up getting the fumble.
Fumble recovery. And
Forces the fumble
and
and gets it. And
one of his 10 plays, that's what he does.
Well, I don't get it. But real quickly before we get to the break, Jacksonville, you talked about how they pose all sorts of problems, but they're a young and hungry team. Whether they're in it or not, they definitely have something to prove. They want to win. They have a chance to finish 7-9, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a team like that, that's a pretty big stepping stone.
And like I said, look, they are still alive in that AFC South. Look, Houston is 7-7, and Houston's no guarantee, so they have still something to play for, and yet they're getting better every week with their young weapons in the receiving core, and of course, I already mentioned Blake Bortles.
Well, we're coming up with Pixie Dust. It's Pixie Dust Wednesday this week, so we'll get to it right after the break.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
The season's been so great. I know people are going to be disappointed there's no show Christmas Eve and Christmas, but we're doing Pixie Dust Wednesday this week.
Maybe that breaks the mojo.
Yeah, maybe it does. And maybe because we don't know what the heck's going on, it's early in the week, they haven't even started preparing for Jackson. Well, as far as we know, they haven't started preparing for Jackson.
Well, they may have, and it might not matter
Right.
anyway.
So we'll just go in blind and let you.
We've done it all year, and we've been wrong all year. So, look, I'm just going to say Blake Bortles comes in and plays even better than Matt Stafford, which you can't get much better. So I think it's going to be another shootout, and I think the Saints are going to go down again, have their first 10-loss season in the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era. I'm going to say Jacksonville 34, Saints 28.
Remember when you said this season's on the brink, like 12 weeks ago?
It's been on the brink since week 1, since they lost.
The brink has disappeared. This season is just.
That's like in my
loss.
column after the game, I said, you can call this a microcosm of the season, but how many microcosms have you had? 10, 15?
So that would be a macrocosm,
It's
right?
such a macro. It's so huge. It's such a disaster everywhere.
Look, I'm not picking the Saints again, and I'm not. I don't care if they win 50-0. I'm giving a heads up that I'm not picking them next week either. This team needs so many changes. I don't even know where to start. They need so much. They've got so much to do, and I don't know how they're going to do it all. But as far as this game goes, Jacksonville's a team on the rise. The Saints are a team in decline, and I think the Jaguars are going to come in here and got something to prove and play very well. Jaguars 38, Saints 21.
Wow, a big win for Jacksonville. And do you think Sean Payton, if this is his last home game in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, is he going to go Les Miles and do the hat wave? The visor wave. I'm going to bet against it.
Look, I've been wrong about a lot of picks, but I can rightly say that ain't happening.
We might get that one right.
Well, don't only enjoy the game, you got to get to Christmas first. So everybody have a good one. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on Monday.